Hey, it's Gina at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut, here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead, starting May 31st, Memorial Day. So, we are with the Sun in Gemini, and it is welcome to Mercury Retrograde. Hopefully this video will film okay. My experience with retrograde is often a lot of technical difficulties and redos and restarts, and my understanding of Mercury retrograde is that the planet's not actually moving backwards, but it has an effect on us like it is moving backwards. Where I've heard people say, like, when you're at a stoplight and the car next to you moves, or you get confused if you're moving backwards or moving forwards, that kind of energy. So I've kind of been just playing with it for a while. At first I was a little resistant to believe in it, and learned the hard way making some purchases. I remember one time I actually bought a washing machine when I needed a dryer, like silly things like that. So always check what you're doing 3 times, because Mercury, kind of the way it moves, forward, back, forward, there's a 3-time checkpoint. And as annoying as that sounds, especially if you're traveling, because Mercury rules roadways, really check your plans. Things can change at the last second. Mercury is really fast moving. So this energy, real quick movement. So your gate could change, your plane time could change, that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that. Let's see, major purchases. I don't recommend it, especially electronics, really tricky. So again, if you do have to do something, 3 times. If you have to sign a contract, get the lawyer to check it, that kind of stuff. It's worth respecting retrograde. That's my experience. You can play with yours. So Mercury is in the sign of Gemini that it rules. And so it's there in conjunct together with Venus and the Sun. So, and it's also there with a point called the North Node. So I would be extra careful when it comes to love and all those things related to Venus. Probably, I'm personally owning a shop, probably not going to order a lot of jewelry for my shop right now because of that conjunct with Venus. Although I may have to order some, but I'll probably choose items that I'm already familiar with and not take the risk on a lot of new stuff right now. I'll wait until retrograde ends, and then I will be full on purchasing again. So don't avoid my store though, because I will be buying right up till the very minute that retrograde begins. What else can I tell you? The Sun and the Moon are trine, which is considered like a positive aspect. The way that I'm understanding this, and please keep in mind that I am I'm an astrology student. I like to say I'm a beginner, although I think I'm in like level 5 now, but I feel like a beginner in a lot of ways. So I'm just sharing with you my experience and the limited my amount of information that I know. The trine aspect is the Moon and the Sun. So the way I see that is the Sun is like how people see you. It's the bright light. It's your heart chakra. It's that love from your heart. And it's there in a positive aspect with the Moon, who you truly are. The Moon is a recorder of everything that's ever happened to you. It also rules the public. It has to do with advertising and emotion, how advertising can really pull in our emotions. So there's this positive aspect. So I'm seeing that it probably could be a pretty smooth time for you, because it's kind of lined up with how people see you and who you truly are, and definitely being seen. They're both in air signs. Sun's in Gemini, the Moon, for the beginning of the week, it will move right out of Aquarius pretty quickly, but it's going to start the week in the sign of Aquarius, which is also an air sign. So a lot of logical thinking, a lot of creative ideas, because Aquarius is the genius, and just maybe jotting down those amazing ideas that are going to come. And I personally would take note of them, keep making plans, writing ideas, but maybe not making any action towards especially new ideas. Old things that have already started before retrograde, I really personally keep moving forward with, but it's the new stuff that I kind of take a pause and say, okay, let me revisit that. Let me keep jotting down these ideas and revisit it after retrograde. So we're going to have like 3 weeks until retrograde ends. And what else do I want to talk about? Again, Aries is still in the sign of Cancer. It's going to be there a little while longer. And so, I'm sorry, not Aries, Mars, which rules the sign Aries. So Mars is how we take action. It's a masculine sign. It can be a little aggressive or it can get things done. It's in the sign of Cancer, which is nurturing. It's the home. It's all that warm, fuzzy energy. That's how I see it. So I want to use my Mars energy to get things done in the home. It's also in the second house right now, which is the house of Taurus, of value, of beauty. It's ruled by Venus. So maybe not making any major purchases, but maybe just cleaning, sorting, rearranging, that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the tarot cards, and we will go back to this chart if we need to refer back to it. And I'm using my pendulum to choose these cards. So I feel like the message, it's very clearly chosen what wants to come through. Here's the World card in pile number 1, the last major arcana, card of success, being seen, and kind of ending one stage and beginning a new one. Here's the Chariot. This is such a great chariot. It's like such full speed ahead energy that he's sitting on top of the chariot. So the World is a Saturn card. Success over time, working hard over time, the success comes. The Chariot is a Cancer card ruled by the moon, and forward movement through trusting emotion, trusting intuition. And then here's the Moon card. Look at that one. Isn't that amazing? This is the Light Seers deck. I absolutely love it. So she is just floating there. I'm sure she will come up for air in a second, but really just basking in the glory of the moonlight. Okay, so go ahead, pick your pile, and let's get started with the week ahead. Okay, pile number 1, I have the World card, ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules the rules. So I often go like this when I'm talking about Saturn. It can feel kind of harsh at first. Over time, learning how to navigate with the rules, learning how to live on this planet, how to function on this planet, and how to get what we want on this planet. And it brings us success over time. It's related to the sign Capricorn. So let's see what you need to know for the week ahead. I've got the Page of Swords. It's young air energy. And, it looks to me like he's bringing you a pen. I'm not actually sure what exactly those are, but they look like pens to me. Maybe they're just swords. I'm seeing it as pens. And so here is this page, this young energy, bringing you this ability to communicate your thoughts. Now, start writing it down. Mercury's in retrograde, but Mercury rules communication. It rules writing. It rules communicating. So maybe it's a good time to break out the pen and start writing. The Star. Look at that. Such freedom. This is an Aquarian card. It's a card of hope. And I just see her rising up from the ashes. It looks to me like the Tower has fallen here. This card comes in after the Tower card. So some things have fallen apart, some structures have fallen down that no longer serve you. The World is the last major arcana. There's an end of a story here. It's almost like the story needs to be accounted for. It needs to be written down. It needs to be recorded. And there's the Tower fallen, and she's rising up. She's usually seen naked, purified. Tell your story. Get it ready to get out there. Here's the Six of Wands. It's a card of being well received, moving ahead with something. So again, with the retrograde, yes, you have to move ahead with the things that are already currently going on. The World card, I want you to be careful if you're finalizing anything, if you're making any purchases. So if you're in the middle of purchasing a home, obviously you have to continue it, but you didn't start it during retrograde. So just complete it and just be extra careful. Check things 3 times. And in your foundation position is the Six of Wands. So that you're being well received. It's almost kind of a lot like the World card, and almost like you're receiving an award, you're being celebrated. Here's the Apprentice of Bowls. This is the Medicine Woman deck. Traditionally, that would be called the Page of Cups. There's a couple pages here, young energy. He's holding this cup and he's kind of going into his emotions, but he has assistance. He's being taught. It's almost like there's a parent there. Someone helping him, someone teaching him how to go into these emotions. And it's coming in next to the picture that felt like the pen to me. So this may feel new. It may feel new to dive into these emotions, but don't worry, you have the support that you need to do it. So go ahead and start jotting things down. The Emperor card, Command. I love how there's a picture of the tribe all behind him. It's a story, they have their stories there weaved into the fabric, painted, weaved, however they express themselves. That's Mercury, it expresses itself. The Emperor, he's in charge. He's related to Mars, associated with the sign Aries. We know that Mars is in Cancer. And this kind of feels like a Mars and Cancer card to me, because it's like he's there in his home with his tribe, reflecting, smoking his peace pipe, reflecting back, finding the information that he needs to help his tribe. He's in charge. This is a solo journey. This is all about him, but he has assistance. So he connects with his higher power. He receives the assistance. And here it is too, receiving the assistance. Here's the Devil card, inviting you in. And I look at that, and he's got these strings here where this man looks just like burdened. This is a time to free yourself. Free yourself of all those things that you're carrying inside that might make you feel guilty. Or I think of the Devil card as like guilt and things we want to keep hidden. And now it's time to bring those things out. You can help other people with it, and you can free yourself. And Five of Swords, which is interesting because it kind of reminds me of this little guy down here. And so, and look at the background, he's being freed back there. Such joy. And it's coming in, I'm placing it right next to that Star card where it's this freedom. So it's a great time to get these thoughts out. We saw that the moon at the beginning of the week is in the Aquarius. It's going to move, it'll move through a few signs this week into Capricorn and into, am I losing track of what? No, not Capricorn, Aquarius to Pisces, and then into Aries later in the week. So this is a great time to kind of finish up what's going on, look at the thoughts that are going on, and free yourself. And I see that freedom, I really feel like it's coming through writing. It could come through some form of expression. And again, maybe not putting it right out into the world right now, but it's a project that you can be working on. And if there's going to be a freedom in it for you, and something's ending for you right now. Like we just went through this eclipse. We just went through a full fire moon. I don't know about you, I felt it intensely. I do have a Sagittarius sun, and it was in the sign of Sagittarius. But it was like a passion moon, right? This was just happened on Saturday. So we had this passionate energy coming up, really showing us where we want to go ahead in life and the things that we need to let go of with the eclipse. And so we're being called in to look at what other things need to be sorted through, what other thoughts, what beliefs, what ideas. Both of these cards are related to Saturn, the rules, where we might not find ourselves acceptable in this world. and to really shine some light on that and look at that and free ourselves from that. I'm really getting that you have some ancestors that want to help you with this. Some loved ones, friends on the other side. And I see this crow whispering in his ear. I think of crows as like, I relate them to Scorpio, messengers from the other side, bringing you information to help free you. And there's a freedom available for you this week. I want to pull a couple more cards just in case I missed anything. There's the Five of Wands, the Four of Coins. Pull one more. Okay, Five of Wands. I feel like that's just kind of what's going on inside you. That reminds me of the Devil card. Just like this wasted energy of just like beating yourself up. Here's kind of hiding your value. And here's the Two of Wands, Two of Pipes. And coming in right next to the Command card too, where he's smoking the pipe. So he's reflecting. He's in relationship with passion. And then like kind of like the pipe smoking feels to me like it's the peace pipe, right? And it's going inward, reflecting, self-reflection. And yeah, I'm just feeling like now is the time to clean up inside, get it out, write it out, clear it up. You'll be lighter, you'll feel better. Use this retrograde period to clean up your thoughts. And you're going to be going into such a new stage, and there's so much freedom available for you. So take this week, break out a really nice pen, or find a pen. I'm not going to tell you to go buy one. Find a cool pen in your house that you really like. Break out the notebook. Connect with someone that you love on the other side. And that sounds silly, but just like ask them to help you. Think of them. Reflect on them. Maybe do a meditation and ask to feel them. And it's available. You can be guided, and you're going to be doing some big work. You might not know it yet. You might not see it yet, but it's starting. So have a great week. Thank you. Okay, I'm back with pile number 2. I rearranged a little between pile 1 and 2. And we're here with the Chariot card, related to the sign Cancer, ruled by the moon. Your intuition pulling you forward. This isn't like just any regular Chariot card. Like, look how he's holding on. He's on top of the Chariot itself. Amazing, dynamic, forward-moving energy. Okay, I'm working with Ciro Marchetti's Legacy of the Divine deck. I have the Light Seers in here, one of my favorites, and the Medicine Woman deck. I use my pendulum to choose cards for today. These are the ones that want to be with us. I have not looked at any of them. Let's see what we've got for the week ahead. Well, you're starting off strong here with the Death card, but this is like my favorite Death card ever. Look at that. There is just such beauty, such openness, such freshness. And so starting off with a major arcana of change, it's called Rebirth in this deck. It's a Scorpio card. It's just like refreshing, and I know there's a lot of changes, and I'll tell you that full moon and that eclipse, they were intense. This is coming out on Sunday. The full moon was a few days before. So there's a lot of changes happening, but changes for the better that can pull you forward. And I know change is not usually comfortable, but things are being cleared out of the way for you so that your path is wide open. We have the Four of Arrows or Four of Swords here. She's kind of sewing away. Her eyes are closed. She's really inward. She's just almost like on autopilot. She knows how to do this, and she's really just calm. She's got this owl on her shoulder. Kind of reminds me of the Death card in some ways. There's change. It's all around you. It's all around her. So you keep busy doing your life. 4 indicates a need for a pause. So maybe taking a couple naps this week, reflecting, going inward a little bit. Here is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles here, something fresh, new. Ace. I love aces. So I feel like this removal has allowed space for something new to come in and to pull you forward. Here's the Five of Cups, Five of Bowls, it's called in this deck. Again, like I was just gonna place it here kind of next to the Death card. Something has left. Here it's a woman. Maybe it's a relationship. It's a 5. 2021 is a 5-year, a year of change. There's things that aren't going to work. There's relationships that aren't going to work, and it's in your best interest to accept when they end. It's painful, and sometimes it just makes the way for better things to come in, more suited to you, allowing that person the freedom to go to and to go in peace. Here's the Nine of Swords. You know, it's been a Nine of Swords kind of day. I have been reading I had a lot of readings today. Part of why there was a gap between pile 1 and pile 2. The Nine of Swords came up in almost every single reading that I did today. And it's the card, it's kind of in the air. You know, we went through this pandemic. There's still worry about what's going to happen next. And this is the ultimate worry card. And she's just, all the things that could happen, she's thinking about. Most that won't happen, but it's keeping her up. And it, you know, I call it an energy leak. When you're not getting enough rest and you're worrying and your energy's going out there to all the worry, then how much power do you have for the rest of your day? You know, sleep is so essential for us. So there's an acceptance here that needs to be made of the things that have left, the things that have changed, and that there's some peace in this. There's a gift in it of something new. There's the King of Pentacles. He knows his value. Look at all that gold and green, so beautiful, so royal. The King of Pentacles would be like a Capricorn king or a Taurus or Virgo king. And so there he is. He's sure of himself. He has what's valuable close to him. And here's the Ace of Wands. So you got 2 aces happening here. One is in your foundation position, and one is in your kind of like future position. This is like a dragon there. This beautiful wand, this spinning light. Something dynamic is happening. You've made space for something big to come in. Maybe not something everyone understands, because when dragons come up, it's like some people just think it's garbage and that they don't exist, and other people are like, absolutely they exist. So there's this possibility, this magic that can happen. And then the king here being grounded in what you feel, in what you dream, in what you want. I see forward movement happening for you very quickly. So take this time in retrograde to kind of sort and sift through your thoughts. See if you can try to lighten up a little bit. Let yourself off the hook a little bit for whatever role you played in maybe the demise of a relationship, so that you can be pulled forward. I want to pull a couple more cards, just a couple clarifying cards, if there's anything else that we missed for you for this week ahead. I have the Lovers. Love this version of it. The Page of Swords. The Six of Pentacles. So the Lovers just feels to me like, I feel like there was some kind of relationship that maybe didn't work out anymore. It didn't necessarily have to be a romantic one. It could have been a friendship one, but there was definitely love there. The Lovers is choices. It's related to Gemini, and Geminis tend to jump and kind of all over the place. And so I just feel that there's a forgiveness that needs to happen for the things that have left. Here's the Page of Swords. It's like the light going off in the attic. There's a realization happening. There's the Six of Pentacles. Money transaction. I don't see any problem with money this week. As you forgive yourself, your energetic field will become more clear and more clean, and you'll attract more things in. You need sleep. less worry, because as you get stuck in the loop of worry, it's hard to break it. And the Hanged Man. Related to Virgo, you're needing to see something from a different perspective. She's having a really nice stretch there, releasing, letting go. So when I think of the Hangman, I always think of like inversion yoga poses. That would be really helpful for you. Maybe you can put your legs up the wall before you go to sleep, or do something where you're kind of, if you have an inversion table or something, do those flip over so you can kind of just get the energy shifting, moving differently, so you can get a good night's sleep, get the worry off your mind, forgive yourself, and forgive those that the relationship no longer worked. I'll take the opportunity here of the transformation available and allow it to just pull you ahead on your spiritual path. Thanks for joining me. Have a great week. Okay, I'm back with pile number 3. I did a little rearranging since I first started this video. It's been a busy day here. We did a lot of readings, so it's a good thing. Okay, you have chosen the Moon card, or the Moon card has chosen you. She's kind of just floating, free. You know she's going to come up to the top. She's not resisting. We're just coming out of this big, huge Sagittarius moon. Still feeling the effect a little bit. It was an intense one. I'm a Sagittarius, so it definitely felt it. I hear it affected Geminis, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces the hardest. So the eclipse, I had a lot of enlightenment, a lot of intensity, a lot of extremes. Gemini and Sag, you know, across from each other. I have my sun and my moon in Gemini and Sag, so I'm used to that seesaw back and forth. But there was a lot of intenseness in the air. And so here's the moon, that emotion. The moon so affects our emotions. It's the closest planet to us. It's very feminine, especially for women. It can affect our moods. And the good thing is it changes signs every 2.5 days. So there's always relief in sight. Okay, let's talk about the week ahead, what you need to know during this retrograde period, how to make the most of it. Well, you're starting off with the Empress, Major Arcana. Look how beautiful she is, giving birth to the world. Poor thing. Okay, so Taurus, earth element, knowing your value, knowing that you can give birth to anything you want, any creative endeavor that you want, and create beauty in this world. We sure need it. Here's the Two of Arrows, or Two of Swords, aiming, pointing, right on point. She's got her guides there, guiding her towards the right spot. So the moon is very intuitive, right? It's a watery card. And so in tarot, we think of the moon as associated with Pisces. Pisces is all about intuition. Also has a lot to do with working with our ancestors, and I see that as that person in the background, really guiding her. So being in communication with that this week. Mercury's in retrograde. It's working a little backwards. Take advantage of it. Communicate in different ways that you may not normally do. Here's the Tower. What a beautiful version of the Tower that is. Bolt of lightning, that bolt of insight, but it seems so natural here. So it's an Aquarian card. It's ruled by the planet Uranus. Just change, everything change at once. And it's fabulous when it's for the positive. So envision it being for the positive. There's some acorns down at the bottom here. I was just recently at the Vanderbilt mansion, the Breakers mansion in Newport, and their signature family insignia, I guess, would be the acorns. I think it was 2 or 3 acorns. Such a symbol of wealth and prosperity. So that's what that made me think of when I saw the acorns down here. That you can have like a sudden change in fortune for the better. So envision that happening. Asking for help. And the moon, this card, just like just feels like just soaking in that energy of that field, that creative realm of just envisioning things happening for you that way. Here's the King of Swords, ultimate businessman, communicator, king of communication. He would be a Gemini king. We're in Gemini season. And you have the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. I just really think something business-wise is just gonna, bam, like she's gonna give birth. It's coming. You're on point. There's the Eight of Pipes or Eight of Wands. Often called the honeymoon card, but she's just standing there. She's got everything in order, beautiful. And the Exemplar of Pipes, which would be the King of Wands, but it's the Medicine Woman deck, so it's the woman. She's in charge, she's ready. She would be typically a world traveler. She rules with passion. She rules dynamically. And yeah, really feel like something's shifting for you, where you might be able to get out of town, go do something, take a little trip. Let me pull a couple more cards and see what else we need to know here. Eight of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Four of Cups. Okay, well, this is how I see it. She's walking away. Looks like she's on the ocean. She's a rock star. And she's got Three of Cups over here, and there's this new cup being offered to her, Cup of Satisfaction. Honestly, I see this as like, get to the beach and maybe go to a concert. Go somewhere, have some fun. We are so overdue for fun. She's got this like complacent look on her face, but there's this new cup coming in. The Ace of Cups, the Cup of Satisfaction. So maybe do a little spontaneous trip. Check your plans 3 times because we're in retrograde. Plan a little extra time so you're not rushed, since Mercury rules roadways. Go do something fun, spontaneously. Money's working out for you. You're moving forward. You're on point. Try speaking with your ancestors, guides, friends on the other side. And if you don't know how to do that, and we're all learning, just ask as you go to sleep. Ask for the person that you want to speak with. Ask for them to come in. And then just play with it and see what happens. See if you have a feeling. See if you, all of a sudden, you know, a song comes on that reminds you of that person. Feel them. Be on the lookout for a new way of communicating, because it's not going to, most likely, isn't going to just be, hey, how you doing? So have fun with it. Have a great week. Thanks for joining me.